Hey Marlene, Daphne here. Sorry for the delay in getting back to you. Wow, the weather here this weekend is terrible. It's really windy, really blustery, we say. I went out for a bike ride this morning and going one direction was fine, really fast. Going the other way was not funny. I nearly blown away, we say. I'm glad you feel better. Yeah, it's so true nowadays. Even if you have a cold, everyone thinks you're ill and you have to isolate. Um, this is very different. This new world is very challenging, but I hope you're doing okay. Nowadays, a few people, so not everyone, a few, take their family with them abroad when they go on a business trip. Is this positive or negative? To what extent do you support this development? So job success, travel, and family bonding are important factors which could be a challenge to each other when mixed, as employees bring their family on a bit nice one. I would say rather than as, but when employees bring, yeah, or are tempted to bring, just to give a bit more vocab, are tempted to bring their family members on global business trips. What a lovely start, fantastic. Although possible dangers, comma here, like distraction could lead to job failures, there are still significant benefits to be gained. Personally, I believe this trend includes more advantageous points. Now, watch out here. Okay, you know what I'm going to say. I'm going to say watch out because advantageous points I'm going to write here. What? Rather than negative. You've mentioned negative, so I'll let you have that one. But more advantageous points. You need to say, especially relating to family communication or connectedness or something like that. So you need to put in here what some of the advantages might be because you haven't told me yet. Okay. This is really, really important. Otherwise, this sentence is what we call an empty sentence. So like it just says, it doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't tell me anything about your essay. Otherwise, really nice. On the one hand, there's several benefits to this growing trend, but the key argument lies in the optional chance for an extended family holiday, yeah, a multicultural education. Um, I would just go, I don't think you need that because you've kind of said that. If you think that's the same as this, so let's go forward now. On the one hand, the key argument lies, and not lays, lies in the optional chance for an extended family holiday, and holiday, and in multicultural education. Yeah, um, extended family holiday, and in. I think you can have a verb in here. Experiencing, experiencing multicultural education. Okay. Thus, normally the company pay all costs of accommodation, transport, and food, as families can still try. Okay. Um, let's just upgrade this because you've got the present tense here, and I'm thinking, possibly a bit boring. So you could, let's see if we can just change this. Since the costs, you could blah blah blah, accommodation, transport, etc., would be met by. So we talk about meeting the costs met by the company. Enjoyment of enjoyment, relaxation, and expansion of cultural ideas um, could be enjoyed. Could be um, hang on. I'm going to have enjoyed here. Could be enjoyed by um, a family, by an company could be easily enjoyed. Now I'm going to take out and put entertainment because I don't want to repeat. Oh, sorry. Enter, hang on. Okay, so you've got normally companies pay all the costs and I can enjoy. So you've got this present tense here. Okay, pay all the costs, present tense here, and can enjoy. Okay, so if we change this around, since the costs would be met by, so we've got hypothetical here. So if I put it in red, we start with since. So since can be quite difficult to use. So since the cost will be met by the company, comma, entertainment, relaxation, expansion of cultural ideas could easily, sorry, then to put that there, could easily be enjoyed by an accompanying family. Okay, so that would be my suggestion now. Watch out on using the present tense. I know we speak in the present tense the whole time, but watch out on this kind of essay because you do need to show this grammar. Okay, so then you'd come back up into here. This is, however, commas with however, a valuable opportunity to educate themselves about several cultures and languages, which also increases not what, there, which. Also a valuable opportunity to educate, rather than educate themselves, I would say become educated about several cultures and languages, which also increases general knowledge for youngsters. So let's get this idea of the family being in there. For example, a recent study by Berlin indicates that valuable cultural knowledge could be internalized better by up to 90% when probands actually visited foreign places. Probands? What's that word? I don't know that word. Please tell me what that word is. Actually visited foreign places. Yes, excellent, lovely example. Therefore, it's evident the chance to go abroad and explore different places and practice languages could be given, might be given, and passive. Yeah. So you've got is given, which is fine. I'm going modal, passive. Good, really nice. So absolutely, you've got exactly the right point here. The danger is that you're not you. The danger is that one repeats this. Yeah, repeats the words too much. So make sure that you try and find ways around that. On the other hand, although personal relationships could be a strong resilience factor in tense relationships, good. There is also a chance to get distracted from work. Okay, the chance, I would say the danger of becoming distracted from work, which again, watch out with what and which. Check that out on your relative pronouns, which might lead to poor job performances, absolutely. This is because priorities may not lie in effective presentations and meetings to get a contract. Okay, effective marketing, maybe, and let's just get some vocab in here, and deal making meetings. So take out this. Sometimes you can just use an adjective which moves you forward. It's sort of smoother reading. As work as care more about person. Okay, care more about risk being preoccupied by personal matters. Care more about, okay, just upgrading the vocab there a little bit. Okay, for example, found that 9 out of 10 employees succeeded. You can't have extraordinary there. You would have to say were highly successful or just succeeded. It's difficult to put an adverb before succeeded. It doesn't quite work. So yours is okay, but just take out extraordinary. So succeed in job performance is when initiators were well prepared. You can't have good because good goes with a noun, good behavior. Well is the adverb that goes with the verb, and focus at least 24 hours before the event. Therefore, if there had been a lack of success, the chances would have drastically increased. If there had been a lack of success at careers, let's take out that lack of success when traveling, or lack of lack of performance or success when the chances would have drastically increased. Yes, if there'd been a lack of performance or success, when the chances would have drastically increased and customers get lost, and this would have cost. Yes, okay. If there'd been a lack of performance or success, I think you need then, not when. Then the chances would have drastically increased that the customers or the deals, maybe the deals were lost, and this would have cost the companies a significant amount of. Okay, wow, well done, and fantastic getting that conditional in there at the end. That's amazing, really, really good work. If there had been, this is absolutely brilliant, would have drastically increased. Fantastic, really, really good there. Very ambitious. I love how ambitious you are. I love how you really push yourself. Okay, but this is long. I mean, maybe you should just aim at 350. And then you've got more time maybe to think about some of the vocabulary and not repeating. Just try that maybe next time. To conclude, from the arguments given, comma there, I firmly believe the development to travel abroad with a family is to be, should be, make a recommendation, should be assessed more positively because of the crucial benefit of additional education. Lovely. Even when some factors must be considered. Yay, what a super conclusion. That is a very, very good conclusion indeed. Well done, you. Really, really good. I mean, you are determined, and that is so impressive, and this is going to get you through. Okay, crazy line graph. This is ridiculous, isn't it? The point is there is no pattern. So don't try and make a pattern, but tell me the highlights or the unusual things. So this is quite interesting. This is really interesting. And here you've got these two together, but that on a high. So there's some things to talk about here. Compares the amount of fallen rain from 3 British nations during a 12-month period in 2018. Units measured in milliliters. Overall, it can be seen that England significantly, you'd have to put a comma there, had the most rain was, the English, followed by Scottish, experienced severe weather and heavy rainfall. While Wales, in comparison, showed a less effective pattern of rain during the named year. Good, okay. Whereas England had almost, just put this here, verb first, then adverb here, had almost more stable annual conditions. Don't compare them. Had almost stable annual conditions. Brian had stable conditions. You could put here with around 100 of water and highs between June, until September, with or at approximately 1 to 5 and a low in May. While Scotland witnessed just just unraveling this grammar here. So start with whereas. Whereas England, da 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 da. Actually, you don't need that. Start then here. Scotland witnessed more fluctuations and figures dropped in February to drastically rise again. Hang on. If you have just to, you've got to have the infinitive. Just to. If you take out that, then you could put then drastically rose. Drastically rose in March to significant to a significant. Okay, use it like to a significant 130 to continue this trend until July and hit another low in November at exactly 50. Okay, you've done this very nicely, but you've made it quite complicated because you're starting with whereas, which is great, but simplify it a bit. Whereas England did this, Scotland witnessed more fluctuations, and I would stop there. Okay, and then I'd start again here. Rainfall in Scotland, rainfall here or there, because that's Scotland, registered. And then get me into the detail. Now, registered 25 in February compared to, I think that the problem here is that sentence is just, your sentence is going all the way from here to here with a lot of information in it. And maybe you could just be a bit more economical and you could use verbs like it doubled to this, it fell by a third. With that, you don't need to give me every single number here. Going to Wales, rainfall was less than 2 other countries throughout. That needs to go at the end. With a collectively pattern. Collectively pattern? What do we mean by collectively pattern? Oh, okay. Use similar. Pattern. Similar pattern to other nations. Remember, you're grouping, so this is lovely. You're grouping them all to other nations in July. Again, which, not what. Which even took the high water marks, overtook the high water marks in Scotland just a full, and showing a flattened out period until October, whereas the comparison nations had high levels of rainfall. Well done, good. That is a nice bit of comparing there, good. Long, again, I mean, you may only have 15 minutes for this. If you're running late on your task 2, you may only have 15 minutes, so I would literally go 180. Maybe try and do it again in 180. Just work out what you could cut. But what I think you've done that basically really nicely, and I love how you're using these really good structures to compare, which is fantastic. You've grouped England and Wales together, England and Scotland together, and then you've contrasted that, but you've also grouped the 3 countries together, which is really, really good. Okay, so well done. Great work again. Keep on going. Just shorter. I reckon shorter. Yeah, then you might be more relaxed. Okay, well done.